Good morning. This is another documentation video. Um, the question I have in this video is about the data center management. I'm Hanabal Khaing, Enterprise Data Manager, CDO, CTO, and the administrator of the data center. One of the questions we had, not about the big data center, but about the smaller data center for enterprise data modeling. Question number one was, why is it so expensive? Question number two is, why is it kept so cold? There were some executives that came for a tour and they were appalled by how cold it was. And then they wanted to know why the electric bill was coming out a little over $3 million. Okay, so the enterprise data modeling data center is separate from all the main big data centers. A big data center, is tens of thousands of square feet. The budget for the big data centers is well over $20 billion for one data center. The electric bill at the big data center is $3 billion a year from all the servers and all the stuff that goes on there. And those things are running 24 hours a day because the clients are global. Now, the small data center, by comparison, that data center, it cost $60 million to build it. Half of that $60 million is the enterprise data modeling computer system. So that enterprise data modeling computer system is about $30 million, a little bit more than $30 million. The reason that it is $30 million is because it uses a room that is 50 feet by 50 feet by 50 feet by 50 feet by 20 feet tall for one giant video wall display. And so that video wall display is very expensive. It's $30 million for a video wall display that big. So it goes up, it goes across the entire 50 feet, then it goes up 18 feet, then it has cooling devices at the top, cooling devices at the bottom on the floor. There's no way to cut that cost. The reason that the displays are that big is because the regulatory compliance data model, depending on the industry, the bank, or whatever it is you're modeling, those models have gotten so huge for regulatory compliance and the sophistication of new products that they are now covering 14,000 to over 40,000 square feet of screen space. So it's impossible to make those models on a normal computer with a normal monitor, a laptop, or anything like that. On a laptop, you can see maybe one or two tables at a time. If you have a dual monitor desktop, you might see 4 to 6 tables at a time. And these models, some of these models have 20,000 tables. There's no way you're going to model that on a laptop. Just the scrolling would take years. Just to try to scroll for 40,000 square feet on a laptop screen. It'll never work. The reason the power bill is so high, each wall in that data modeling room has a power usage of approximately 400 kilowatts per hour. And the power cost in California is about 35 cents per kilowatt. And then if you're running it 24 hours a day, which we don't, we only run it 16 hours a day. We don't have that many data modelers. We only got 2 data modelers. So we can only run that thing for 16 hours a day. We're supposed to have 5 data modelers, but there are no real data modelers. 99% of the people we interviewed for data modeling were fake. They were all administrative assistants or some other IT professional, or in some cases not even a real professional, trying to get a high salary, but they did not even know what data modeling was. We asked, what is data modeling? They couldn't answer the question data modeling. They said it was modeling data. So they have no idea what it is. So, the vast majority of people who apply for that job don't know what data modeling is. So we were supposed to have 4 of those systems, but we settled on 1 because we knew we couldn't find anybody to run them anyway. So we just have 1, and that 1 enterprise data modeling system uses $3 million a year in power. That's where the power consumption is coming from. So then the facilities and the cooling and the equipment, the cooling, the air filtration to keep the dust out of the cooling fans and all that stuff, that comes out to another 30 to 35 million depending on where you put the data center. This particular one was 33 million. So to build the data center, it took $63 million, and then the first year power bill was $3 million. So it's like $66 million day one. There's no way to cut the costs. It is what it is. If you don't have it, there's no way you're going to get the model done. And so the other reason that we did find one genuine data modeler who was trained by Ralph Kimball. Now, he wasn't trained to the level that we were trained at for military intelligence and civilian intelligence organizations, because most of the stuff that we were trained in back in the 1990s was still classified up until 1993. Some of it is still classified now. So the guys in the Kimball group, they have approximately 2/3 the training of the caliber of data modeler that we have inside of our organization. But the guy was adequate, but he still faked the data model on the project that he was on because they would not pay for the equipment. So he's working at a bank, and they're telling him to create severely complex financial technology, but they've only given him a laptop. And like I said, those data models are like 14,000 square feet minimum. Can you imagine scrolling for 14,000 square feet with a mouse on a laptop? It would take approximately 27 years to make that model with a laptop, which nobody would do because nobody has that kind of patience. So he basically put it all on one big table, just like the Indians do it, and just let it go because they wouldn't pay for the hardware. And on top of that, they didn't want to pay the wages. They wanted to pay, I think, $62 an hour, which is ridiculous. It's below the minimum income for rental in San Francisco. You can't even rent an apartment if you're making $62 an hour in San Francisco. So they sabotaged their own project. So we don't really fault the guy because the wage price fixing and all this stuff is going on with the job sites like Glassdoor and Indeed. All those wages are price fixed in violation of the Sherman Act. And the corporations are colluding to price fix all the wages. So all those wages, they should be paying 20% of return on investment for the job. But they're trying to push the narrative that the jobs are costs, as if there is no ROI for the job. The jobs in IT are a minimum 500% return on investment. Some of these jobs are 50,000% return on investment versus what people are being paid. They should be paid 20% of the return on investment, but what they're actually getting paid is less than 10% of the 20%. And then the corporations are stealing 90% of the pay that should be going to them. That's the problem. So you got these people who are easily compromised because they're financially compromised because their wages are being stolen. And so that's how you're getting the data breaches. That's what this whole thing came out from is data breaches, and people wanted to see the data center, how the data center is secured, how change data capture works, how the encryption works, and all these things. And the hacks are not coming from inside the data center because nobody comes in here but me most of the time, me and a couple of security guards. And there may be a couple of administrators that come in and change failed hardware, RAM chips, hard drives, stuff like that. But just like maybe any given day, like 6 people coming here, and there's cameras everywhere. So, and then about the temperature is kept freezing to keep the servers from overheating. There's so many servers that they would overheat if we kept the temperature above 50 degrees. That's why it's so cold in here. But that's it. That's how it is. That's the best we can do.